YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about Fred VanVleet joining back with the Toronto Raptors. I think this is going to be a good pickup for Toronto, only paying him an $18 million deal, I believe. That's very cheap, and they had the right to match any offer because he was a restricted free agent anyway. A lot of people say that they like him a lot. He was able to play well in the regular season. He was able to even get minutes in the fourth quarter alongside Lowry and DeRozan. This is a guy that a lot of people feel like could be a quality starter in the league, and a lot of people felt like the Raptors wouldn't be able to keep him because of that and the fact that other teams can offer him a lot of money. But like I tried to tell you guys a while ago, it's not too many places you can start at right now. Most of the places got either a point guard they're trying to build around, or an all-star, or a good point guard in general. It's not that many spots open right now that Fred VanVleet can go and start right now. It's just not. And Fred VanVleet is not an all-star, superstar point guard. He's a quality point guard. He knows his role. He knows what to do. He knows how to play. He has good basketball IQ, but he's not a superstar point guard. And to get a guy of his caliber, which is very good, one of the most respected players around the league this year, you would definitely want that on your roster. I think the Raptors made the right move trying to make him a priority, let him know that he's wanted, he's needed, he is a piece of the puzzle. He is a guy that they want to stick around. They had a record season in Toronto, and a lot of the times they try to bring that back to see if it was the coach. They fired Dwayne Casey. Maybe bringing in a new coach can turn this team into something even better. Maybe getting a new coach can get them over the hump and finally get out of the East or even to the Eastern Conference Finals again. Remember, this team was the number one team in the whole East, and they couldn't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So that just lets you know they got a far way to go, but they do have the talent. They do have the stars, and one of the better situations to go to compared to other teams that are rebuilding or are mediocre. The Raptors at least show signs that they going in the right direction, and the owner cares about winning. And that's an organization I want to be a part of, an organization where they're taking care of their players and paying. Only problem with this signing is the fact that the Raptors don't really have that much money. This deal will put them over the luxury tax, so you can see some more maneuvering for the rest of these next couple months, because they're not going to want to pay $13 million over the luxury tax and have them pay like double the money at that point. So I can see a couple more pieces getting moved to clear up some cap space so they can go under the cap. It's not that really much teams that have cap space. That's why Fred VanVleet couldn't really get a starting job too. Not a lot of players can. Not a lot of teams can give Fred VanVleet the max. Not a lot of players. Not a lot of teams can give Fred VanVleet the starting position. So he ends up back in Toronto. He's with a team that he can possibly be the starting point guard in the future, depending on how Kyle Lowry ages and if he becomes another free agent and they want to go in a different direction. They have a guy that knows the system, that knows his teammates, a guy that has become clutch, a guy that has become a great, player for them. And, you don't want to go out there and get a point guard that's old, or you just trying to force a way to win it. They went out there, gave him a 2-year deal, give him chances to still retain him, but also having flexibility in the future when guys like Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan become free agents. They can see what a team is there and try to build the team at that moment instead of worrying about the long-term deals. So the short-term deals is becoming more popular. Teams want flexibility. Players want flexibility, but they also want to get paid. You pay them the money that they want, but just do it in shorter years. So that way, even if they do become free agents, you have a chance to either re-sign them or go after somebody else, or even just retool your roster when they all leave. Because after a certain amount of time, it's time to change up some things and try to go in a new direction. If you can't get out of if you can't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, um, you definitely gonna have to rebuild this team and try to go in a different direction. That's why Casey is gone. They tried this unit a lot and they didn't get them to where they wanted to go. So at the end of the day, it's good to have Van Fleet coming back, but they also know that um, this team won't be here forever. And Kyle Lowry is going on his last legs. He is no longer the guy that going to get this team to where they got to go. So he was a free agent last year. He chose to come back. He signed a short-term deal, um, and he's getting up in age. And he can grow under Kyle Lowry. He can develop under Kyle Lowry, and the more he plays, the more experience he's going to gain. And the fact that you're not really paying him a significant amount of money just to come back could be possibly good, especially when they come off the books, and then they can offer him more money in the future, especially if he shows they can be a starting point guard in this league, which he showed, but he's more of a backup plan wise. But he'll probably get that opportunity to be a starter in the future. He's still young. He doesn't have to rush it. He doesn't have to chase the cash because you still do want to win. You still do want to be happy in the situation that you're in. Everybody say you can get this amount of money, you can get this amount of money, but if you're going to a team that's losing, if you're going to a team that you don't fit in, we seen them with Lance Stevenson. He left Indiana and had to come back because he didn't really fit, and the players and the coaches and the GMs didn't really get him. So he wasn't the piece that he was in Indiana. He didn't never had the seasons of impact like he had in Indiana. So you definitely want to stay put if you like the direction of the team and they're willing to take care of you financially and you can get winning involved too. So this is one of them situations where at the end of the day you prefer to be in. And he don't have no pressure. Him playing with other all stars allow him to, you know, get benefits from them, get open shots, get this. He's less of a distraction because they're focusing on Kyle Lowry. They're focusing on DeMar DeRozan to the point where he's getting spot up threes. He getting lanes to the basket, and that's because he's playing with other great players. And this is one of the best built teams. They have the centers. They have the shooters. They have the ball handlers. They have the ball movement now. They just got to go out there and find a way to win in the playoffs. That's the biggest missing piece for this Toronto team is that yes, they have the all-star, yes, they have the personnel, yes, they have the flexibility and the versatility in lineups, and Fran Van Fleet is one of those integral parts of that lineup. And the fact that they can go small, the fact that they can go big, the fact that they can go long and lanky is something that's special. But it hasn't really gave them success in the playoffs. And Brad Van Fleet was a guy that was injured going into the playoffs, so it did hamper them a little bit um, in the first couple rounds. I mean, the first round, but he never really was the same after that arm injury. So he has a chance to really go back out there, prove he can play, go back out there and prove that he's a starting quality center, and is either Toronto gonna make him their starting quality center, or if he continues to play well and he elevates his play, you can see another team trying to come in and try to make him their franchise guy. A lot of people feel like that he was gonna do it this year. Obviously, he chose winning over the money because they could have offered him more money. Besides Toronto, Toronto is, like I said, is over the cap. They don't really have that much money they can throw around. So this is a bargain deal for Toronto to get a quality starter or a quality player for dirt cheap, especially when his value was at its highest this season, um, which was pretty good. But I am kind of surprised that he's still with Toronto. But at the same time, I do realize there's not that many positions he can really go to. and it's not that many teams that got cap space this year that's going to really offer Fred VanVleet the max. You think that he deserves it, but it's not really a team that he can really go to get it from. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a good pickup? Are you happy that he stayed? Um, or are you mad that he stayed because now somebody else got a couple of players got to leave so they can get back under that luxury tax line? So everything comes with a pro and a con. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about Fred VanVleet re-signing with the Toronto Raptors for 2 more years. And he still will be young. He has a lot more to prove. He has a lot more to develop in. And maybe he can become their franchise point guard in the future. Or maybe he can get an opening 2 years from now and take advantage of that opportunity and become a franchise point guard then. Or maybe he will always be a backup. We won't know none of these things until 2 years from now. And right now, the Raptors are not complaining. They're not mad because they got a bargain for a quality player in the league.